Hi everyone, welcome from Acumen Accounting. There's so many times people just think why they're getting investigated by HMRC, why they have letters coming through and asking them for further information, or they need some documentation from tax office. So there are 6 reasons why HMRC start investigating you or your business. So number 1, if you're in a high risk sector. So high risk sector is basically if you're running a takeaway or a shop where the cash is involved, or a restaurant business. So these are classed as high risk sector, where HMRC tend to look at for a VAT investigation. They see that probably you're not paying the correct amount of the VAT, or if you're in the retail sector where some cash handlings are going through, and they probably think you are not declaring all of your sales, or the cash sales, or the cash intaking. So these are the high risk sector, which definitely HMRC tend to investigate more compared to any other business. Number 2, if you're doing your tax return and you're putting a large claims through, for example, you're putting a large repairs or a large expenses, this is again tend to picked up by the tax office, and they can investigate, looking at it, how could it be possible you have a large claims. In some cases, yes, they are genuine, or they are definitely big repairs going around, or people say, right, okay, these are the bills, and then it's very pretty straightforward. You produce the evidence and they kind of back off. But if you're putting through a large claims, this is another reason where tax office is looking to investigate and see why these are large claims coming through. Number 3, which is very common, mostly people do that, is the errors and the discrepancies. So when they're submitting the tax return, sometimes they don't have, for example, most of the people who they try to do themselves, they don't have any professional advice. What they do is when they're submitting the tax return, they're making some errors, and there are discrepancies between the information HMRC already held and the information you are submitting. So because most of the cases HMRC have most of the information, if for example, if you're an employee and you have a side hustle, they already have your employment income details. So if you're selling online, if you're trading online, they already have the data, because the data start getting shared since January 2024. So if you're doing, for example, Uber deliveries or a Uber taxi, their data is getting shared. So if that's the case, and there's errors and the difference between the information you providing and the information tax office already have, they tend to investigate. Because if you're putting through my turnover is, say, for example, £30,000, but the Uber or the online platform already share the data with tax office, they say, no, it's not 30, it's 50 or 40. So it means there's a difference between the information you're submitting and the tax office have. So that's another reason where you will get investigated, and you will receive a kind of a brown envelope through the post, and they will ask you to provide clarification and the further information. So these are very common error most people do, and the discrepancies between the information HMRC have and you submitting. Number 4, there's a significant change. Say for example, in year 1, your turnover is say £300,000, and then it's either go down by £100,000 or go up, for example, increase significantly, or doubling the turnover, or reducing is the other way around. Either way down, it's up or down. So this is a significant change in your information and your return you're submitting. Then again, tax officer intend to look into that information and see how it possible is a significant change, because there's no more COVID, there's no kind of, businesses are closed. So there's the businesses as normal now, we're back to normality. Of course, we are going through a bit of a difficult time economy wise, but the business is as usual. So there shouldn't be a significant change into the information you're submitting your tax return. So that's another reason where tax office will definitely look into it and say why you can have that significant changes compared to your previous year and this year. So whenever you going through your return, make sure there's a box in the tax return which say other information. If there is a big and massive changes, please put a small paragraph, explain them why there's a significant change, why there's a turnover is increase, or why you're putting through these big expenses, what's happened, what's going on. Just if you put that small paragraph, give them the detail, then it's most likely you won't get any investigation, and it will save massive time. In most cases, people just submit and then they will back and forward for months and months, and the anxiety and they kind of thinking about what's going on, why I'm getting investigated. So there's a small box called other information. Please make sure you put on that. Again, I will advise, please seek a professional advice. The number 5, which is most common, is the foreign income. So if you have in overseas any properties, if you're getting a rental income or the interest income on your fixed deposit you're receiving, mostly our Indian clients, they have received the notices, so get investigated, because what happened is you tend to not declare, but most countries now start sharing the information with tax office. So when you kind of sharing that information with tax office, for example, India is sharing all these fixed deposit and the interest income. So you get the letter through the post, say, you have an overseas income you haven't declared. So you must declare that income in your tax return under the foreign income section. So that's another reason where you get investigated, because you're not declaring your foreign income. You probably have a properties in Dubai, you're getting a rental income, and you're not declaring in the UK. The last one is random. So tax office, what they do is they randomly pick up any files and they say, okay, this year we'll look at your tax return and see what information you have submitted. They might ask you for a bank statement, other information. This is just totally random. It's a computer-based system. They randomly pick up, and you probably think, why? All my information is correct. I haven't done anything wrong. My information is spot on. Why would I have been asked by the tax office? So don't panic or don't worry about it, because it just randomly picked up by the tax office in the computer system. So you just give them the information, we'll review it, they go through it, and that's it. But again, if you think you have any of these reasons, the 6 steps which I've just said, the 6 reasons why the tax office investigate you. So if you think you need help, and we have an expert team here who deal with inquiries, and we have a really good success rate with the tax investigations and the tax inquiries. So if you think you need to have a bit of a help, you can just go to our website, acumenaccounting.co.uk. Just simply go and book your free appointment. We don't charge talking to people. So if you book that 60 minutes appointment, we will talk to you. One of our experts will have a discussion with you, see how we can best help you. But these are the reasons. So I'll just go through quickly what are the 6 reasons why they investigate. Number 1 is high risk sector, large claims, errors or discrepancies, significant changes in your return, overseas income, or randomly picked up by the computer system. So again, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye for now.